And good morning. Welcome to another edition of the Real Estate Radio Hour, brought to you by Chris Rooney with the Realty House and Andy Prasky with RE/MAX Real Estate Properties. Good morning, you guys. Happy holidays.
Good morning.
Oh, what the heck. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas,
Why
Danny.
not? You don't care if I'm politically correct or not, do you?
Nope.
No.
Not one bit.
Not Why change it, right?
Exactly.
All right. Anyway, we've got another good show. Now, before I even throw it back to you guys, let's invite our listeners. If you do have a real estate-related question, by all means, we'll take them either, again, by phone or by text, and we'll give you later on that the special hotline the guys have set up for CCO listeners for maybe you need some more detailed questions answered. 651-989-9226. Or toll-free 866-989-9226, or send us a text at 81807. Chris and Andy, what are we going to get underway with here?
Well, I'll tell you what with the new little snow that we're getting, or have gotten, we were going to try to catch Andy Linus and have him hang around for a little bit.
He scooted out of here.
Yeah, he did. Well, he had a hockey game.
Of course, yeah.
Guys got priorities, and I think those are good priorities, actually.
Couldn't be a wedding anniversary if it's hockey. He's gone.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, he would have stayed the same.
Yeah.
But, no, but I wanted to talk a little bit about something that we had a problem with a couple of years ago, and that was IceDams.
Oh, boy.
And, but we really lucked out because Mona Edick, with Prime Lending's here today, and her husband is with, and that's Ryan Edick, and he's with Edick Valuation and Inspection, Services. So he's going to be able to kind of give us some little hints. And what I kind of wanted to know was, first of all, thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
I was dragged down here.
Yeah, I know. That worked out good. Mona doesn't like to drive downtown, right?
No, I don't.
Right. But anyways, what is it that creates those ice dams, and how can people prevent them? Is it something that the weather is kind of good for that right now to happen, or no?
The rule of thumb, and then just a saying that we have at our shop, is that to cure an ice dam, you need an IV, and that's insulation and ventilation. If you've got the appropriate amount of insulation, R40 value or higher in your attic space, and you've got ventilation keeping that attic space cool during the snowy season, during the winter months, you shouldn't have an issue with ice damming. You're keeping that hot air from melting that snow. You get freezing rain, things like that, you're going to get ice dams throughout the year regardless, but as long as you have that IV, insulation and ventilation, you should be in good shape.
Okay. Now, that typically happens with maybe the pitch of the roof or how they're coming together.
It can.
Certain spots.
If you've got a flat roof, you're always going to, flat rubber roof, black rubber roof, then you're going to have, but you've got a thicker membrane, you're prepared for that. It's built for that.
Yeah, I was at a house earlier this week, and it just kind of reminded me of it. And then I was thinking about this weekend, but that they had an ice dam, and now they've got the water damage. And when we go into houses, that's something that we want to make sure that is satisfied before someone else.
Well, this is a good time of year, I think, too, for the listener that you have a light snowfall on that roof. You actually go outside and you can see your hot spots. And so it's kind of a blueprint as to where you need to address the problems, I think, now before they become a bigger problem. You'll just literally see the spots that are melted. And
right.
I know when we're out there looking at properties, that's one of the things I actually like to look at houses in the wintertime because of that. So.
Yeah, well, it's smart.
And water can really find its way. When you think it may be leaking in one spot, it could be coming from a completely different area.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you're not kidding. But as far as our show goes today, we got a really good and fun show. Andy, just a month ago, he's, we're constantly trying to get educated, getting a little smarter.
Sharpening the saw.
Yeah, and then so we sent Andy to school quite a bit.
We all should do that.
Yeah. But anyways, he was actually able to go through to an investment class and get a bunch of different things on investments. And we've been getting a lot of calls on investments over through the radio show. And we just thought it would be a good thing to kind of maybe get some terms out there and tell people.
Well, and the interesting part about it is that you as a seller even, 33% of our buyers were investors last year. And there's a need for it. With vacancy rates where they're at, they're under 2%. There's a need for investors to buy properties to provide housing for people that need that rental. So it's our market will continue in that direction. I think that what's also kind of interesting is that the thinking about being a landlord or actually being a property owner with an investment property, the average investor makes $86,000 a year. And they go out and they'll buy one property probably every 2 years. They're normal folks. They're normal folks with normal jobs. And now we're even seeing where people are looking for tangible investments. You buy that mutual fund or you buy that whatever, and it goes up and it goes down and you really don't know why. you can reach out and touch a house. You actually have a tradable, tangible item there. Rent is going to be something that's always something you can have.
Well, and another big scary thing that used to be was that, it's not bad. It's the easy part is buying it, and the semi-easy part is getting a renter, but it's keeping that renter in there and making sure that they're paying. And now with all the management companies and things like that, like Minnesota Home Rental, that it's an easy, inexpensive thing to be able to have them just handle it.
Well, and a lot of our first-time investors, they'll buy, for an example, like a townhouse, and then the exterior maintenance is part of the package of owning the townhouse. Of course, you got to be a little careful because some associations now are limiting the quantity of rentals that are in each unit or development. But it's an easy way to step into it if it's allowed. And then, like I said, if you're not interested in managing it yourself, we've got management companies that are out there that literally will find you the renter, manage that property for you, and then you can take, advantage of the depreciation, for an example, is just one of the many things that are there. You talk about appreciating a property in value, but there actually is where over 27 and a half years, Chris, we can depreciate that property, which I'm sure you're aware of. I mean, you have many properties yourself. And it's like a 3.6% roughly that they're depreciating those properties against your current income taxes, which is, and I'm not a tax guy at all, but I'm just kind of throwing out some of the Andy benefits I see.
Right. No, that's good. Yeah, and then, so we're going to touch a lot on that, a lot more. I know we've got some phone calls too, but also we're doing we do a lot of networking.
Yes.
Not just with, different, the inspections of the mortgage and all that kind of stuff, but we also do it with other realtors. So we're going to recognize another realtor from a competing brokerage of ours that we network with a little later on.
But really, it's just like you have with your experts that you have, whether it be legal or mortgage or whatever the case may be. It helps everybody.
Well, specific areas that they're working and that you help us out. And so we'll talk about that a little later as well.
Okay, very good. You know what we should do? I think, are you waving for a break there, Dennis? Should we do that? Yeah, he is saying it's time for a break. And we'll do that. We'll get to Bob on the phone here coming up in just a second. If you have a real estate question, 651-989-9226, or send a text to 81807. Back with more here on 830 WCCO.